All right, so let's jump right in. This is a story that kicks off with something super relatable, super frustrating, right? A damp apartment. But stick with me because this seemingly simple problem, well, it peels back the curtain on these incredible, invisible systems flowing right beneath our feet. Systems that connect us across time in ways that are kind of hard to wrap your head around.
And this right here, this is our anchor point. The water rises through us. It's this strange, almost poetic line from a forbidden journal back in the 1880s. This one sentence is going to be our guide, you know? It's going to lead us through this whole story about water, about our bodies, and about a type of knowledge that you'll just never ever find in an official report.
Okay, so first up, a very 21st century problem. We meet this woman, Vera, living in a modern apartment, and she's dealing with an issue that, for all our fancy tech, nobody can seem to figure out.
And it gets worse. Fast. We're not talking about a simple leaky pipe here. This thing, it's like a presence in her home. The dampness seems to have a mind of its own, spreading in these weird, unpredictable patterns. But then it crosses a line. A huge line. It starts affecting Vera herself, physically and mentally, in these really specific, bizarre ways. I'm talking a heaviness in her limbs, weeping for no reason, stuff no doctor can diagnose.
So, to figure out what's going on, we actually have to jump way back in time, over 100 years, in fact. We're introduced to this municipal worker, a guy named Marco, who's about to stumble onto something that connects Vera's very modern problem to a story that's been buried for a long time.
So here's Marco, just doing his job, right? He's a permit processor, looking over a proposal for a new wellness center. Part of his job is digging into the site's history, and that's when he finds it, this digitized journal from a 19th century seminarian, a young guy named Brother Tomas. And you guessed it, the seminary was built on the exact same spot of land, almost 140 years ago.
And as Marco starts reading this old journal, he gets this chill down his spine, because what he finds is, well, it's a chilling parallel. The young guys at the seminary, living on that same damp ground, were experiencing the exact same bizarre symptoms as Vera. The same weird heaviness, the same crying without sadness, the same dampness that just wouldn't go away. I mean, the connection it's just undeniable. And honestly, it's terrifying.
So you have to ask, right? What on earth connects these 2 points in time? How is this even possible? Well, to get to the bottom of it, we have to look at the town itself, Kesselfeld, and really dig into the hidden systems it was built on, both the ones in the ground and the ones on paper.
See, Kesselfeld wasn't some thoughtfully planned town. Nope, it was more like a collision. You had 3 huge institutions, the railway, a mining company, and a seminary, all converging on this one valley around the same time. And each one had its own mission, its own way of doing things, and was completely, utterly blind to what the others were doing.
And this sets up this fascinating clash between 2 totally different ways of knowing the world. Think about it. On one side, you've got what's called embodied knowledge. People like Heinrich, a local guy who'd walked the land his whole life. His boots knew the ground. It's practical, it's sensory, it's not written down anywhere. Then on the other side, you have documented knowledge. This is the stuff of the institutions, maps, legal documents, survey reports. It's all abstract, it's numbers on a page, stuff you stick in an archive.
And what happens over time is that all these institutions, with all their paperwork, they create this thing the source material calls the apparatus. It's this massive, self-reinforcing system of laws, documents, and protocols. Its whole purpose is to make the world make sense on paper. But here's its fatal flaw. The apparatus can only see what's documented. It is completely blind to that other kind of knowledge, the lived-in, sensory stuff that Heinrich's boots knew by heart.
So you can see where this is going, right? The apparatus, with all its fancy maps and official surveys, goes and builds the seminary on the one spot that Heinrich's boots could have told them was just wrong. It was the exact place where a hidden aquifer system made the groundwater kind of stall out and pool, completely saturating the ground.
Okay, so that's the historical screw-up. Now let's fast forward and see how that old mistake creates a very, very modern disaster. This brings us right back to Vera's apartment.
Flash forward to 2019, a developer wants to build a wellness center on that exact same spot. And get this, in a moment of just incredible irony, they decide to take the site's famous humidity problem and rebrand it as a feature. You know, a natural source for their fancy steam rooms and spa treatments. You can't make this stuff up.
So when construction starts, they begin digging, and it's like they've shoved a giant plunger into the earth. All that groundwater that used to just pool there, it gets displaced,
forced under immense pressure into these hidden underground channels. And where does it go? You guessed it. It's redirected like a fire hose, straight toward the foundation of Vera's apartment building.
Okay, so, wow. We've solved the mystery of the damp apartment. But that answer just opens up a much bigger, much deeper question, doesn't it? If this water is what's physically connecting these people across 140 years, what else is it carrying with it?
Because the text suggests that this water isn't just water. It's not just H2O. It's acting more like a liquid archive, a medium that holds onto information. Now you're probably thinking, what kind of information could possibly survive in an underground water system? It sounds crazy, right?
Well, this is the core idea. What Vera thinks are visions. They're not supernatural. It's her body literally participating in this water cycle. The water is carrying traces. Traces of old events, like mining or prayers. Traces of the bodies it's been in contact with, like the seminarians. And even traces of what they felt. The heaviness, the weeping. She's not seeing ghosts. Her body is just reading the water's archive.
Now, to really understand just how intense this unwanted connection is for Vera, the story gives us a powerful contrast, a brief look at the total opposite.
In a companion story, we meet a man named V, and his world is the complete inverse of Vera's. He lives in a state of profound disconnection, from his body, his room, from other people. He just can't adhere to anything. He's the true ghost in this story, a perfect opposite to Vera's overwhelming, forced connection to the past.
And this leaves us with this really stark choice, doesn't it? Which is worse? To be completely consumed by a connection you never asked for and can't escape, like Vera, or to be so disconnected, so separate, that you can't form a bond with anything at all, like V.
And that really is the big takeaway here. It forces you to ask, what unseen systems are we all a part of? You know, from the actual water flowing under our cities to the invisible rivers of data flowing through our phones, we're all participating in these massive circulations that we can't fully see. And they're all carrying traces of other people, of histories, of memories that we might never understand, but that are shaping who we are every single day.